Rockstar. Oh, Rockstar. Changing the gaming scene with just one post. GTA 6 delayed to May 2026, over a year away. Everything that was releasing around that time is now screwed. We're gonna start seeing delays for games that were supposed to release around that time. And we're gonna start seeing the window open up for this year, for games to come out this year. Maybe they'll come out early. Maybe we'll see some games come out early because they don't want to get hit by the GTA 6 release window, because it's gonna be insane. I'm sure Tim Pool's got some stuff to say about culture, that our culture is dying and whatnot, which I don't think so. I think it's shifting away from the AAA gaming space. So far, not really seeing it with the consumers, but when it comes to content creators, it's definitely shifting. And usually that's a sign that the consumers are going to shift also, especially if everybody starts talking more and more about indie games and retro games. And I've been hearing it brought up more and more and more. It's really been taking over the conversation recently, especially with that Oblivion remaster. Oh boy. 10 out of 10 for that one.
News that is surprising to no one. Grand Theft Auto 6 is being delayed to May 2026.
Yeah, everybody knew it. Everybody knew it was going to happen. They just were wondering when, how, why, and when the release date was going to be. From what I've heard, everybody was speculating May or June. I guess those speculations were right.
You know, I saw this story, and it made me feel bad for Gen Z because they don't understand just how bad they have it relative to us millennials.
Ratchet and Clank came out in 2002. Ratchet and Clank 2 came out in 2003. Ratchet and Clank 3 came out in 2004. Sly 1, 2002. Sly 2, 2004. There was a year in between. Now with these yearly releases, we get Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, storefront simulators.
Because I remember back when I was a kid, games came out like clockwork, and I got the data to back it up. Don't take my word for it. These kids playing GTA 5, they've been playing GTA 5 now for 12 years with no game coming out. Now, of course, there's always a bigger picture here. It's not just that GTA 6 is being delayed, which we will read about. It's that culture is stagnating in sad ways.
Yeah, we got people defending these slop games that come in, not saying GTA 6 is slop. I'm talking about all the other games around GTA 6. Everybody defending these slop games, while the real people are like, what are you doing? But then again, all the content creators that I watch that bitch about all these games, they still buy it and they still talk about it. So, yeah, it's kind of everybody's fault. Nobody's left without blame here. Except for people like me who just, only talk about it and don't buy the games, like we actually say to do. All these people telling us, well, vote with your wallet. Don't buy the games. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm one of those people. I don't buy the games.
This weekend, I was talking about Katy Perry and Beyonce. They're struggling to sell tickets to their big stadium concerts. Katy Perry's last album bombed. Beyonce is selling tickets for the price of a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Probably because they've been in the game for like 30 years, 20 years, 30 years. Katy Perry was around whenever I was in like junior high, like 7th, 8th grade. These people are old. These companies making these games are old. They're only in it for the money. They just want to keep driving up their profits year over year, breaking records, until one day everyone's tired of them and they stop caring. And they move on.
That was the news. Now, some have come out and said, yes, but Tim, Sabrina Carpenter, she's selling out her show, yes, but in arenas, not stadiums. Still good, but she's pulling in between 10 to 20,000 seats. Hey, that's really good, don't get me wrong. But Metallica used to sell out like 70, 80,000 seat stadiums.
They had a concert, what was it, in Russia? They had 2 million people show up.
Actually, they still do. They just played a 60,000 person stadium the other night. And they had that famous show in Russia with 1 million people.
At least 1 million. I think the official numbers were 1 million, but there were more than 1 million people out there.
Culture stagnating, man. And I was reading this post on Reddit where some Zoomer was saying that they're nostalgic for a time that doesn't exist anymore. They see all this media, they see everything from the 90s, and I'm telling you what's going to happen and why this story about GTA 6 is so important.
We're going to hit a retro culture pretty soon, I think. Usually we're all about the new trends, everything new that's coming out, but we've hit a point where nothing's really getting invented. There's no new technology coming out. Everything's kind of the same. And I think that it's going to be really popular to look back. I've been seeing it. I've been talking about it. I'm one of the people that's really super into retro stuff, and I could give a shit less about all the new stuff that's coming out.
Now, for many of you, some of you came here and you're just like, bro, just tell me about the video game because I want to know when I can play it. And we'll get into that like literally right now. Just want to say real quick, then we're going to talk about why culture is stagnating and why this is bad news for Zoomers and Gen Alpha.
I can tell you right now, global corporations that are trying to reach the biggest audience they can, making the most money they can, have taken over everything, and they're gatekeeping all of the everything, all of the good games. You can see it with Black Myth Wukong when they tried to keep that game out. All the attacks against Space Marine 2. All the attacks against Oblivion Remastered right now. Everybody telling us, you gotta play Avowed, you gotta play Assassin's Creed Shadows, return to form!
I'm worried about you guys. Here's a story from Polygon. They say Rockstar Games has delayed GTA 6, previously expected in the fall of 2025 to next year. The hugely anticipated game at least has a firm release date now. It will be released on May 26, 2026.
I've got some bad news for all the people that are excited about GTA 6. Guaranteed that it's going to be good. That it's going to be great. One of the greatest games of all time. Eventually. But if it's anything like when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, or when GTA 5 came out, or when Red Dead Redemption came out, it's going to be an absolute fucking broken, buggy mess. Remember GTA 5? It launched with an online mode that you could do nothing in. You could run around, rob gas stations, and kill each other and steal each other's money. And there wasn't a bank. It was completely empty. There was nothing to do except hang out in the city. And people were very upset.
We are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and GTA 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver the level of quality you expect and deserve.
Well, don't look forward to seeing any summer releases next year, because GTA 6 is taking up that whole slot because nobody's going to want to release games around that time. So that's just going to be dead over the summer next year. It already kind of was dead this year, although we did get a couple of bangers. We should have got more than just Claire Obscure and Oblivion Remastered.
We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. The news comes as no great surprise. Rockstar is known for delays to its games, which are always huge in ambition and scope. Its last major release was Red Dead Redemption 2, delayed 3 times.
And then the Red Dead Online completely fell apart, and they abandoned it.
However, as recently as February, Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two Interactive, was insisting GTA 6 was on track. GTA 6's delay presents an opening for other publishers who were said to be considering delaying their own games just to avoid competing with Rockstar. So expect a slew of October, November 2025 release dates soon. My friends, it is done. We are cooked. We are cooked. Look at this. Look at this Rockstar Games release schedule going back to 1998. Let me tell you about what it was like when I was young.
Actually, you're wrong, Tim. There was another Rockstar game that released not too long ago. GTA Definitive Edition. Remember that? It wasn't actually Rockstar. They got a third-party company to make that.
1998, man. I was 12 years old. 12 years old. GTA comes out. In 99, you get GTA London, Thrasher, GTA 2, 3 games. It's okay. GTA London versus GTA were very similar. And for those that don't know these original games, they were like top down.
GTA London was like an expansion pack, more like, before we got all the expansion packs and DLCs for consoles and things.
And it was a funny and silly game to play, to be honest. In 2000 to 2002, look at all these games that get released. You got 9 releases. You got Max Payne, Oni. You got, what is this, Burning, H2O, Wild Metal, I don't even know, GTA 3. Everybody I knew
Italian Job, actually a great game, if I remember that correctly.
Had to get GTA 3. It was 3D. You were running around the city. It was crazy.
Also, Midnight Club. That was a crazy year. That was a crazy era for Rockstar.
You then got 3 releases in the next year. The next year, 3 releases, then 3 releases, then 3 releases, then 3 releases. 2007, you got 1. The point is, over time, they slowly released less and less. Then came 2013.
Like, they don't even have the small games anymore that they used to have. Because they used to have stuff like Manhunt. They used to have stuff like The Warriors, Midnight Club. We need another Midnight Club, actually. I don't want to play an offshoot of Midnight Club in the GTA Online service. I want an actual full-fledged fucking Midnight Club game. Doesn't even have to be that big. Make it slightly bigger than Midnight Club LA with like modern graphics. GTA graphics, just make a racing game. It wouldn't even be that hard. Give us a new Red Dead Revolver. Give us like a GTA 5 stories.
With GTA 5 and nothing for 5 years until Red Dead Redemption. Yo, 2018 Red Dead Redemption, it's now 2025, and they're telling us, look at this chart. GTA 5, 2025, sorry boys, delayed 1 more year. There's 2 big reasons why this is happening.
I can tell you why it's happening. GTA 5 made an astronomical amount of money, and they had to put everybody on it so they can make it bigger and bigger so they can make even more astronomical amount of money. And that's all that they were focused on for years until they started realizing, oh shit, people are eventually going to get tired of this game and move on. Or we're going to introduce something that everybody hates and everybody's going to back out. We got to do something about this. So now they release 1 game every 8 years. And what if one of the games that they make ends up being a colossal failure? GTA 6 ain't going to be that, but maybe their next game will be. The 1 game in 8 years, that would be like 16 years without a good game if they release 1 bad game.
They're making money on online and mobile. So games that used to get released all the time, it was like, make more games, man. Let's try and get a banger out there. Now it's like, release 1 game and just sell skins. And that's what they're doing. The world that Gen Z lives in with video games, you've basically got young people who play 1 game. You're going to play GTA, Fortnite, and Minecraft. They play 1 game in a million different iterations.
And the kids that I see play Minecraft, they're not playing Minecraft. They're just doing random things in Minecraft until they get tired of it.
Living in that one world. Here's how it was when I was a kid. Right now in our Boonies HQ trailer, which is outside the skate park, I bought an N64, and I got a console that plays Sega Genesis, Nintendo, and Super Nintendo. And I bought like 15 games. Yo, back in the day when I was a kid, we would go out. There was a place called Farmore. It's like a pharmacy. I barely remember what it was. I don't think they exist anymore. Pretty sure they don't. And they had a rental section for video games for NES cartridges. And the amount of games was nuts.
True. That wasn't my time. That was before my time. I was around the PS2 into the Xbox 360 era with all the rentals. And it was amazing. We would never buy games. We would only rent because it would cost us like $5 a week, which ends up being like today's Game Pass price. Technically, you're getting way more games for the price of renting games nowadays. But it comes with a cost. It comes with a price, which is they get removed. And you don't get to just go and buy those games on sale after they've been used for so long for like $5 or less, like I used to. That used to be how I bought games. I would rent the games out for like a year, and then when people stopped renting them and they were just collecting dust on the shelf, they put them on sale, and then I'd buy the games that I was playing on sale and replay them.
I remember I'd go to like a friend's house and we'd have a rack of all these crazy games. Now, here's the thing. You might be saying, Tim, there's more games than ever. Yeah, but they're like mobile, one-off, overly simple. It's not the same thing.
And they all have microtransactions and storefronts and skins, and they're all live services. And you don't actually have them on disc that you can just go trade with your friend. Like, he's got a game that you haven't played yet. I've got a game that he hasn't played yet. Let's exchange. Or I've got these 2 games. You got that one game that's new that I haven't beat yet. I want it. I will trade you these 2 games or these 3 games for that one game. It was like a currency.
So when we're looking at these big AAAs, they're very similar to how we got releases of, like, say, Mario 64 or something. Now, to be fair, Mario games Came out, I don't know the release schedule, but it was like a couple of years. Mario 3 comes out, Super Mario World comes out, Yoshi's Island comes out a couple of years later.
But they also had other games that were releasing in between those that were very similar, like the Zelda games, or Kirby, or Star Fox.
So there were gaps by a couple of years for those franchises. But Rockstar used to release a bunch of different games, not just GTA. So here's what's happening. Cultural stagnation. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Same thing with music, same thing with movies. They've become formulaic. I'm not going to risk money on creating a game that flops. So now what they want to do is they want to say, you're going to make a movie? Okay, do we want to make Groundhog Day? Yo, Zoomers, have you watched Groundhog Day? It's one of the best movies ever. Probably not. I don't know. Some of you maybe did. It's one of the best movies ever made. Back to the Future. We don't make movies like that anymore unless it's like an indie studio and then no one hears about it. It gets no marketing and the culture is stagnant.
And then everybody finds out about it 10 years later, after it's already done making all of its initial money, so it doesn't actually make any more money, and it's out on all the streaming services, and then you find it by accident. Strawberry Mansion. Movie's fucking great.
Groundhog Day was epic, but today, everything's got to be the same thing. Mission Impossible 15, or Fast and the Furious 43, or Fast and the Furious spin-off. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Star Wars universe. Yo, make a new IP. They don't want to. They say, we're not going to spend $100 million.
Hey, I got an idea. How about instead of making a new IP, or doing another movie off of the same franchise that we've been doing, how about we license a video game and make a TV series out of it, or turn a TV series into an awkward rendition of a movie series that already existed that was great a long time ago, like Lord of the Rings, like Harry Potter.
Gambling on an intellectual property that people might not like. So where are we now?
Halo, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can keep going.
They're not making new games anymore. They're not making new music anymore. I mean, obviously they're making music, but it's all derivative, algorithmic AI garbage. I feel bad for where Gen Z goes with this, but I'll say one more thing. Why are these games being delayed? Talent crisis, yo. Gen Z, hear me on this one. We've had a managerial and talent crisis for some time.
I've got a pretty good guess as to how this happened. People who want to make money get into these companies that are making a lot of money, and they see that the actual talent is making money and they're not making money, and they want to get ahead in the company, so they have to deem these talented people problematic so that they can get ahead and take their positions. And then that's how you get rid of the talent, and they move on to these other companies that you don't really know like who they are, but they're still making great games, just not these flagship AAA games anymore. There's that vampire game coming out. I have no idea what it's called, but it's got developers from The Witcher 3 on it, and it looks like what Witcher 4 should have been. You get games like Black Myth Wukong. I forget who the people working on that were from. They were from some other company. Big company that everybody knows. Riot? Was it Riot? Yeah, they're just pushed out of these companies because other people want to make money. It's how it happens.
This means that younger people are not being taught the skills to take over these industries and create these kinds of programs. There's fewer and fewer people to do the job and do it well. DEI initiatives have made this worse.
Oh, you can make a good game? How fast can you make a good game? Because we can make a slightly worse game, or like a way worse game, but it'll take us 5 minutes with an AI to do the thing that you're doing passionately. Sure, it's a worse product, but it didn't cost us as much to pay you.
You got two guys. One's like a white dude. He's 20. He's like, I program video games for fun. And they say, sure. Then they look over and there's like a Hispanic guy and he's like, you know, I've programmed before, but I could probably do it. And say, we want you because DEI. And then you're going to have delays and struggles.
And then those people don't have the talent to come up with their own stuff. And they're like, well, I have to get this done. How do I get it done? I know. Generate it with AI.
It's not going to solve any of the problems we're facing. I think it's going to get worse. I think the only saving grace, technically, is going to be AI-generated games to a high degree. I think within a few years...
Every 1,000 AI-generated games will probably get one good game. Every 5,000 AI generated games will probably get one great game. And every like 20,000, 50,000 AI games will get one astronomically, amazingly 10 out of 10 good game.
We might be seeing AI, like LLM generated video games where you say, make me, you open up the prompt and you say, make me a new GTA game that, is like this. And it'll make it for you. It'll take the existing code from that and many other games, combine the elements. I think in a few years.
I think people will make a lot of money and get really famous for coming up with interesting ideas for the AI to generate, rather than actually coming up with the ideas and making it themselves.
Because right now there's like rudimentary things that it can quote unquote code, but it's like top level, easier language like HTML5 and stuff. It's not like, I don't know, C or like basic or anything like that.
A huge problem with all that, with using all the AI generated stuff, we're gonna stagnate even worse because AI doesn't create things. It generates things based off of what already exists.
So it's sort of coding. That may be our saving grace. But I think that with Gen Alpha being only 40 some odd million people, Gen Z, you're in trouble. Check this out. Let me show you this. Katy Perry, fresh off Blue Origin flap, admits she's bruised by online backlash. It's not just Blue Origin. Yo, she's got that cringe tour that nobody's buying tickets to, and she had to cancel events. Why?
I've actually been getting YouTube shorts that are telling me that Katy Perry's new tour is actually really good, and all the cringe stuff is hilarious, and how people are like falling in love with all of this, and they love to see all the backlash against it. It's crazy. It's like the same thing that I was seeing with Assassin's Creed Shadows, the Halo TV series, all these garbage products that they're trying to shove down our throats that all advertise the same. Like, yeah, it's kind of bad, but it's bad on purpose because it's funny and cringe. That's part of the culture now, guys. No, you're just lame and cringe, and you're trying to trick us into thinking that it's not, or that it is, and that's a good thing. And we're not stupid. So what we're just gonna do is we're gonna make videos about it and generate money for ourselves, making fun of the thing instead of giving money to you. I'd rather watch Tim Pool talk about stuff like this than actually watch the thing that they made.
Okay, millennials are 40 years old. Okay, we're 40. We're not going to Katy Perry concerts anymore, man. It's not going to happen. Now, Katy, you think you're going to sell a stadium to anybody else? There's barely any young people. People aren't having kids. Generations are supposed to be bigger than the last. There's 72 million millennials and 69 million Gen Z. Gen Z's smaller by a little bit, and Gen Alpha is 40 million right now. Gen Alpha is supposed to be ending in the next, like this year. Maybe some estimates might put it a year higher. Okay, so maybe we get 45 million Gen Alpha. Gen Z, I'm telling you right now, yo, you're in for it. You're in for it because there's no babies. So there's not going to be young people to take jobs. So that means restaurants are going to go to business. It means you're going to struggle to find work. Buildings, homes, they're going to get bought up by by BlackRock and other financial institutions. It ain't going to be pretty. In the next 10 years, boomers are expected to be around 50 million. They'll still be alive. They'll still own these things.
I think we got 10 years, maybe even less than that, until we become the United States of investment firms. Because it seems like everything is based on them. They're buying everything up. They're buying up all of the gaming companies. They're buying up all the movie companies, all the houses, all the stores. Everything is being bought up by investment firms.
Boomers largely own properties and corporate equities. This means Gen Z is going to be 37 years old and still have no access to owning property. And at the same time, there will be no Gen Alpha who should be entering their 20s to take the jobs. Of course, there are some, but they're not going to be taking these jobs. So you're looking at GTA 6 and being like, this delay sucks. Yo, I'm telling you, I hope you're prepared for how bad it's going to be. You will own nothing. You will be happy. That's what they said. And that's where Gen Z is headed. Millennials largely got the last chopper out of Nam. That's what it feels like. Like you were still able, it's something like a quarter of millennials, half of millennials own homes. Half of them didn't even make it out and are struggling. The other half found something. But Gen Z ain't gonna be so pretty, and Gen Alpha, you're in serious trouble. Gen Alpha is gonna be entering their 20s. Boomers still around, owning largely all the properties. And I'm not saying literally every boomer owns property. There are a lot of poor boomers too. but it's not going to be Gen Alpha that's got access to this stuff.
In the future, video games will barely be made by Generation Alpha. Most of them are going to be too busy because there's not going to be enough well, there's going to be too many jobs, not enough workers. And they're not going to be getting paid enough because the corporations can't afford to keep the companies going if there's not enough workers to make things for them. So everybody's going to have less money. Nobody's going to own anything. And all of your games and movies are going to be made by old millennials that are going to be in their 60s. And they're going to... all the older people than millennial was the older generation, Gen X, the boomers, all that. They're going to be the ones that own everything. Millennials are going to be the ones that make everything in their 60s. And then everybody under that are just going to be the consumers. And that's all that they're going to be. They're not going to be owners. They're going to only be consumers.
They're going to be 20. They're going to be living with their parents. Gen Z's already doing that now. So no one's going to be buying houses. Property values are going to start imploding.
I know people right now who are living with their parents, and the parents live with their parents. So it's kids living with parents who live with the grandparents. That's happening a lot.
Then you're going to get these big corporations like BlackRock swooping in and buying them up at premiums that the younger generations can't afford. So you want to talk about your video game? I hear you. I agree. It sucks. But this is a symptom of a much bigger problem that is only going to be exacerbated. And that's not including the insane hyperpolarization politically. So now that I've successfully taken your video game story and turned it into, I don't know, social collapse and disorder, you may be sufficiently black-pilled. It's not all the apocalypse. I mean, AI might change the game in ways that pick up the slack for the lack of population.
My pill that I've been taking is Vanta Black. It is the blackest pill. But at the end of it, there's a white pill for me. Because I'm a Christian. So I know where I'm going.
Not that I think it's ultimately a good thing, but maybe you see new movies, new video games, and you get more of what you want because the robots will do it for you. I still think...
That's better. At least I'm getting things that I want. I'd rather that than all of this AI-generated slop from other people. I'd rather it be the AI-generated slop that I can control.
It's going to get worrisome with how and who maintains infrastructure and buildings and plumbing, the electrical grid. So we'll see, man. Anyway, GTA 6 is delayed again. There you go. I'm going to wrap it up there. Stay tuned. We got more segments coming up for you in a little bit. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast, and we'll see you all then.
It's going to be a very, very long time before the gaming industry recovers from this whole GTA 6 debacle. Just its release. Just the fact that it's coming out is going to destroy the gaming industry for the next few years. Games are going to be delayed because they want to stay away from the GTA 6 window, which is going to cause a pileup of games at one time, sometime after GTA 6. It's going to destroy a lot of studios because of that, because a lot of studios, the people aren't going to buy their games because they're buying the big AAA games that got delayed to the time when everybody else was releasing their games. And they can't afford to delay their games. They have to release their games. These indie companies and AA companies. And it's just going to be like tumbling for the next few years. But I don't actually buy games. Well, new games. I do buy games all the time. Play games all the time. It's just they're old or indie. So I'm kind of out of all this whole gaming industry failure. I'm just a bystander. I'm just a viewer. I'm just watching all this go down. Maybe someday I'll be back. Maybe someday I'll be able to play new games again. Probably won't be until everything's on physical again and we'll be renting from video stores. Don't see that happening ever again. I see the world ending before all that happens. That's all I have for today. If you want to buy a t-shirt, I got them down there in the description. I worked really hard on them. I'm out.